The whistle sounded, the ball skidded across the cracked concrete of the stadium, and then everything changed. A bright golden light ripped the sky open, and in that moment Lionel Messi found himself standing in a place of unimaginable darkness and war. Around him, the air pulsed with the rumble of engines, the clash of steel, the screams of the dying. He blinked, breath caught, as towering warriors in power armor marched past. Something deep inside told him this was not a match he could win with dribbles. One moment he'd felt the crowd roar at Camp Nou. The next he was on the edge of the universe, in the realm of Warhammer 40,000, where the slogan itself whispered, "In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war." The roar of the crowd had become the cry of battle, and Messi's shin guards felt suddenly meaningless against bolter fire and chainswords. He knew instinctively he had entered something vast. He just didn't know how to play the game yet. The first soldier he met wore cerulean power armor, etched with purity seals and battle scars. The man looked at him as though he were either a blessing or a curse. "Who are you?" he barked. Messi swallowed. "I'm Lionel Messi. I play for Barcelona." The soldier's face hardened. "Then you are far from home, striker. This is a different field." And indeed it was. The field was an ash-covered world, the sky lit by fire, and above them the stars were bleeding. A squad of Xenos creatures poured over the horizon, chittering with hatred. Messi's legs snapped into motion, not because he understood the threat, but because his body remembered movement. He sidestepped a beast that lunged like a defender on steroids, then froze as a bolter shell tore into the ground where his foot had been. The soldier next to him opened fire, and Messi realized, here the goals were enemies' lives, not goals scored. He braced himself anyway. "You have skill," the captain said, pulling Messi aside behind the shattered turret of a ruined tank. "But skill without purpose gets you killed." Messi's mind flashed back to free kicks and dribbles. Now he gripped a lascan unfamiliar in his hands. He nodded. "Teach me," he said. The captain's grim smile revealed wisdom. "Then let us show the Imperium what mortal hearts can do when war demands them." Messi inhaled the acrid air and accepted the field. Training was brutal. The soldier showed him how to load a clip, how to brace for recoil, how to aim at something that didn't obey rules. Messi's body ached from new motions, but his mind burned with concentration. His footwork translated oddly. A dodge here, a sprint there, as though he were dribbling around a defender made of metal and rage. Soldiers watched him curiously, their war-torn faces softening at his finesse. In this universe, art and death danced together. The first battle hit like a tidal wave. Orcs crashed in screaming hordes, their axes raised, their laughter echoing across the ruined plain. Messi stood beside the captain, 200 yards from any hope of mercy. The lascan clicked, the bolter roared. He raised his foot, then instinct took over. He kicked the discarded shell casing, sent it spinning like a goal celebration. It clattered into an orc's helmet. The squad erupted in cheers. He did not score a goal, but he won a moment. But winning moments weren't enough. The next wave came, more brutal, more relentless. A space marine in crimson power armor gripped him by the shoulder. "This universe eats hope," he growled. "You must fight with more than your feet." Messi swallowed. He looked at the carnage around, twisted bodies, ruined giants, a sky weeping flame. He closed his eyes, then opened them with renewed resolve. He would play the game his way, with heart, with compassion, even here. During a lull, he walked across the plain of broken armor and bullets. His boots left dust rather than grass stains. A wounded lad called out for help. Without hesitation he knelt and reached for his medkit. a strange shift from striker to savior. The boy trembled. Messi smiled. "You'll stand again," he said. And the boy did. The soldiers who saw it paused. In a world defined by death, a moment of mercy glowed like a keeper's jersey on fire. The Inquisition arrived. Stern faces, cold eyes. They questioned him. "Who brought you here? Are you a weapon of chaos, or of the Emperor?" Messi's voice shook. "I come from Earth. I bring nothing but football and spirit." The Inquisitors frowned. Warhammer's dark world did not often allow for simple joy. But they let him stay, on trial, yes. Yet somehow they watched as he raised the boy, dusted him off, then jogged away, light in his eyes. He realized the field had changed. No longer stadiums, no cheering fans, but the roar of bolters, the voice of machinery, the sigh of dying worlds. Yet his heart yearned to dribble, to pass, to score. He found a battered helmet and balanced a scavenged fragment of metal like a ball. In that moment a space marine paused and watched. Messi flicked the fragment between his feet, smiled, then charged into battle. The marine grunted. Perhaps he saw hope. Perhaps he saw gain. The final showdown approached. A tyrannid swarm descending like black rain, hunger incarnate. Messi stood with the regiment at the edge of a cliff overlooking the battlefield. The clouds parted. He thought of fans, of stadium lights, of goals. Then he thought of this universe, this war. He took a deep breath and shouted, "Let's play." The army surged. He sprinted forward, not only as a footballer but as someone who believed in change. And change moved. He dodged claws, passed him to allies, intercepted blasts. A meld of athleticism and uncanny courage. His teammates weren't used to seeing a human dart between monstrous jaws. Yet he stood. The tyrannids faltered. The army pressed. When the final creature fell, he had not scored a hat-trick. He had done something stranger. He had lifted the spirits of the dying, given a moment of brightness in a dark universe. The field was won, or perhaps lived. In the quiet after the battle, Messi stood looking at stars unfamiliar. The soldiers gathered, not the roar of Barcelona fans, but the quiet respect of warriors who fought alongside him. The Inquisition observed. The captain nodded. Someone called out, "You survive." He smiled tiredly. "I do, for now." He knew survival here meant more than breathing tomorrow. It meant keeping heart alive where hope had been crushed. He accepted that role. When the golden light returned to whisk him away, Messi paused. He looked at this universe one last time. He thought of Earth, of football, of grace on grass. Here he had found war, chaos, meaning. He lifted his borrowed helmet in salute. The warriors raised their weapons not in salute, but in recognition. He vanished into the crack of light, and on worlds across the Imperium bled into legend. The footballer who went to war, and survived not by goals, but by courage.